Hi! My name's Ari, and today I have an art video for you. Well, it's more of like a yap fest than an art video because one, my file got corrupted, and two, I forgot to record the entire process. So it's just gonna be talking about me struggling with this piece. I am a character artist, yes, but I rarely do full illustrations because I really struggle with backgrounds. I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do with this piece. If you watched the video that was published earlier this week, you probably recognize this piece. Now, I could have just done the character art and be done with it. I think that would have been fine. However, I really wanted something to go with, to give a full scene for the video because it's meant to be a gift for my 3-year anniversary. I did a lot of studying for this piece, I won't lie. Is my execution good? Questionable. I watched a lot of videos from much more experienced illustrators and their process and how they approach pieces. Also, some videos on lighting, because I think that's one of my biggest struggles, just as an artist in general. Figuring out how the light hits different materials and skin and like a body, and how the shadows interact, and also the ambient light. It's a lot. It's a lot for Omo. I think I managed to figure it out. I was recommended to try figuring out the lighting in grayscale, which is what you can see me doing here. I don't really know if it helped a ton. I think it did. I feel like it did. Also, if I sound sick, it's because I am. I've been sick for the past like week or so. Help. A week and a half now, actually. I think a difficult concept for me to wrap my head around is how shadows within shadows work, because it feels very flat when it's just like one big dark gray area like on the skirt there. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to figure out the shading. Something that I wanted to try, because I really struggle with painting. I'm more of a cell shading kind of person, so just flats and then cell shading and call it a day. But painting is something that's really difficult for me. So after watching a lot of videos and like talking to friends who are artists, I was recommended to try and figure out the values in grayscale first. That'll help with colors and making sure there's enough contrast between everything, which I feel like is something that I also struggle a lot with. So here I'm trying to figure out values and lighting up the piece. Okay, so here you can see me adjusting the proportions. It's something I tend to do a lot. I actually used a 3D model as reference for this piece because I had a very specific pose in mind that I really wanted to execute. However, if you ever use the 3D models in Clip Studio, you know that the proportion's gonna be a bit weird. So if you use it as reference or you decide to trace over it, it's gonna look a little funky, so you will have to go back and adjust proportions. And while I was adjusting proportions, I realized that the head was angled very oddly. The entire time I was working on this piece before this point, I was like, something is throwing me way off, and I figured out that it was the head. So I took some time and I redrew it. Well, not the entire head, but the face. I think the angle of the head itself is fine. It was the angle of the face that was like really throwing me off. So I took some time, redrew that. I feel like it came out a lot better. I also decided to sketch with a different brush this time because I was testing out a more textured brush. I do really like it. It's just I'm not super used to it yet, and so trying to use it for a big piece like this that I need to get out in like a timely manner was not a good idea, and I think that's also something that really threw me off. So here you'll just watch me sketch everything out and make everything look nice. I think I got really frustrated on this part because I really struggle. I keep saying struggle. This whole piece was a struggle. I won't like, because this is something I don't do big illustrations like this. Like I mentioned before, I don't do illustrations like this very often. Like the last full illustration I made was like back in like last year, I think. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a full one. I think right here, I was really unsure of what kind of expression I wanted my character to have. The picnic is very, like, again, this is like for a picnic date audio. A very sweet moment, a very very happy moment. So I wanted the expression to be able to convey that. I wanted my character to be looking at whoever was listening or whoever is looking at her very sweetly. And I think I figured it out for the most part, and now we're figuring out the hair and actually starting the rendering process. Here we are figuring out blend modes. I have been doing art for several years now. I still have no idea what most of the blend modes do. Like what they actually do. And at this point, I'm too scared to ask. I try and look at tutorials and things, and I just can't wrap my head around it. I need someone to hold my hand and guide me and explain to me exactly what each of these things do. I also very quickly learned how the color blend mode worked. Because, you know, I watched a bunch of videos of illustrators, and a few of them that I watched do the whole figure out values and stuff in grayscale first and then add color on top of it. And they use the color blend mode to figure this out. And I didn't really understand what was happening. I just kind of did it because I saw someone else doing it. Don't do that, by the way. You should take your time, just really try and understand what you're doing before you do it, so you don't end up like me and become really frustrated and really confused at what the heck is going on. Like you can see here, I'm like, why isn't it dark blue? Don't ask me to explain it. I don't know how to. This is when I realized I accidentally gave myself silver hair, and I kind of like it, I won't lie. So in order to fix the silver hair moment, I decided to use an overlay of the actual color that my hair is. There was I ended up switching between silver hair and this color quite a bit because I really like the silver hair. I won't lie. I kind of want to switch back to it. I want to switch to it. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun. But I couldn't do this. I decided I couldn't do this through this piece because this is supposed to be for an anniversary piece, which is of my current character. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have not a rebrand, but like a new hair color in the future. Who knows? I think this is where I stopped in this session. As you can see, there's a big difference. There's a big jump. There's a huge jump between the progress of the last one and then the progress of this one. Basically what happened in between was that I forgot to record part of the process, and then also the process that I did record got corrupted. So I don't have the footage at all. So I'm just gonna need you to trust me on this. Basically, the major changes that happened between the last session and then this session is one, did the background to the best of my abilities. I used brushes. I'm gonna be completely transparent. Everything was done with brushes that you can find on Clip Studio. If you want the specific brushes for like the leaves and the trees and stuff, I can give those to you. I can put them in the description because they're actually really, really nice and really helpful for someone like me who doesn't know how to really draw foliage by hand. One day I'll get there, but not today. Nope. But some other big changes are I changed how the skirt looks. If you look on the side, I have a reference of how a skirt should be folding because I realized that it's not. It looks really weird. Do I still really understand how fold works? No, I don't. And that's something I need to practice. Maybe I'll do a practice stream someday. But yeah, I also adjusted where the legs were because I realized they look kind of funny. They're a little long. I also fixed the face a little bit. We rendered the hair fully. We're just like really big into the rendering phase right now. Yeah, I'm just spending a bunch of time fixing the skirt and everything because that was a big issue. It's like a big part of the piece. Please don't ask me how I managed to do any of this. I don't know. I feel like I blacked out and then it was done. So but yeah, that's really it. I don't have any more footage because again I forgot to record some, and then I also decided not to record the last few sessions just because I'm sick. I'm tired and I was really struggling and I was just really frustrated. But I think it turned out well. I think it was really pretty. Would do it again. Honestly, I would do it. I probably will. I have commissions I need to finish, but anyways, thank you for listening to me yap for however long this video is. I started recording without a plan. I hope it turned out good. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so sorry. The next art video will hopefully be a little more put together. I will also hopefully, fingers crossed, not be sick. Anyways, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night depending on your time zone. I'll see you soon.